Welcome to the Rent to Rent Success podcast, all about creating consistent cash flow, escaping the 9-to-5, and really living life on your terms. This is the only podcast entirely dedicated to helping you achieve rent to rent success. It's our place to inspire each other to believe bigger, to be bolder, and to be game changers for good. I'm Nicky Taylor, your guide on this exciting ride. Let's start up the engines and get ready to fly. Hello. Stephanie here. Welcome to the 26th episode of the Rent to Rent Success podcast, which is all about how WhatsApp can ruin your life if you let it. Before I dive in, do you know about our book? If not, where have you been? Finally, it's coming. Rent to Rent Success, the book. We've been working hard on it. And we want to make it absolutely amazing and to be the best it can be. It's going to be our 6-step rent to rent success system in a book format. And if you want to be part of the pre-launch just for our VIPs and everyone in our Kickstarter program, then you need to get yourself on the book VIP list. So if you want to be part of it, sign up at rentbook.com. That's rentbook.com. And we'll have the link in the show notes too. So let's get into today. Why WhatsApp could ruin your life. Of course, you will need to communicate with your housemates if you're managing properties. But I would caution you very strongly from creating a WhatsApp group for your tenants that you're also a member of. The reason is people love convenience. I do this myself. I WhatsApp Nicky or I WhatsApp Luke to ask a question. I could easily find out in a second on Arthur, but it seems like it's easier to message. And WhatsApp is an instant messenger, which implies instant replies. And that's why I believe it's not the best way to communicate with your housemates. And if they have you on WhatsApp, they're going to ask you on WhatsApp. They're going to ask you about the electricity not working rather than they go downstairs and look at the fuse box. They're going to involve you in petty bickering with each other that you definitely should not be involved in. The most important thing is that communication should not be instant. So let's just say that you've got 10 tenants, which is a small number. With WhatsApp, 10 people can contact you 24/7 and expect an instant reply. And more than anything, people expect an instant answer on WhatsApp in a way that they don't if you email. On WhatsApp, they can see whether you've read the message and it puts a little bit of pressure on it. Most letting agents are available 9-to-5, and I suggest that unless it's an emergency that you aim for that too. Maybe that is manageable for you to be available 24/7 to 10 people. But what about if you've got 50 tenants or 100? The best way is to have a place where you check for non-urgent messages rather than you're getting disturbed 10 times a day, so that you choose the time and the location of when you want to go in and action that. It means that you're efficient in what you do. And also mentally, it's not great for your mental health to be constantly on call. You need to have the times when you're available to action these items and the times available when you're not. And everybody who you're working with needs to know that. So you might say to me, it's not good service what you're doing here, Steph. You're encouraging people not to be responsive. And that's not entirely true. I'm encouraging people to be responsive within boundaries, not 24/7. So you might say it's not good service, but we have got over 65-star reviews on Google. If you Google HMO Heaven, you'll see the reviews will come right up there within Google. Hello, would you like to start your rent-to-rent business step by step with us? Book a rent-to-rent strategy session with me to find out more about the Kickstarter program and to see whether it's right for you. Go to rentsuccess.com/call. That's rentsuccess.com/call. I can't wait to speak to you about your goals and to answer any questions you may have, and more importantly, to help you start your rent-to-rent success story. And that kudos to that goes to Luke, assistant property manager, who is managing the tenants and the maintenance issues and liaising with people as they move in and out of our properties and doing an amazing job. But we really put the boundaries when we employed Luke, because whereas previously I'd been managing that and I might go at weekends to do viewings or late in the evening, or I might answer the phone at different times late at night. But we didn't want Luke to need to be on call 24/7. So we needed a way for us to be able to provide that really responsive service, but also not to be on call 24/7 except for emergencies. And I'm going to come back to that in a second, the emergency side of things. At the moment, what I'm talking about is just routine things like somebody telling you that they're moving out or somebody telling you that a light bulb has gone. We still do get those messages, or a doorknob has fallen off, or the shower curtain needs replacing, or whatever it is. Most of the items are not emergencies, and they can be dealt with the following working day. And that's what I really encourage you to do, because when you come in fresh and you're using your dedicated hours to action anything that's come in, you're much better able to deal with things than when you're constantly feel on call, which kind of makes you feel a little bit harassed. So I hear so many people in Facebook groups saying, oh, I've got a WhatsApp group with my tenants. And I'm thinking that really is not the way to do it. And I know that's controversial. So let me know what you do and what you find works within your business. So what should you do instead? What I suggest is that you have a communication channel where all of the communications happen, and preferably in writing. The reason I'm saying all this is when you have one place to look, then anybody can cover. If I were to go on holiday or not be available or whatever, anybody in the team can see all of the messages that I've sent to the tenants about any issue. The same, Luke is actually on holiday at the moment. And, we can see all the previous history for every tenant, every property, because it's all within our property management software. We use Arthur. Another great one is gotenant, which is a lot easier with the user interface. gotenant is much more intuitive. Arthur is more complex, but Arthur was what was available when we first started. And we like Arthur, but it's not as intuitive, I think, as gotenant. But whichever software you choose or whichever system you choose, you want to have everything in one place. So within your software, we have all of our tenants put all of our maintenance requests. So we can, for example, go into any property within Arthur and see all the maintenance requests ever for that property. We can search on a tenant and see all the maintenance requests against a certain tenant. And, we can see all the notice messages. We've got a dashboard which shows us all the tenants giving notice, all the tenants moving out, any units that are available. So it's a really important place for our business. And it means that we can look at it from anywhere in the world on any device. We can easily outsource it as well. And these are all things that I think are really important if you're growing a bigger business. If you're just staying at one or two properties, I still encourage you to put these systems in place, but it's not as important because you can manage. But once you go, beyond a few properties, I would say beyond 10 tenants, you really do need some proper software to manage everything. All their ASTs are in there, instructions for house deposits, stuff for tenants deposits, so that the tenants, it's the hub for the tenants as well. They can access all of their documents in there. We just couldn't run our business without it, essentially. So I don't know if you are, who's WhatsApping and loving it? Tell me if you are. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I think you would be involved in all sorts of bad-tempered minutiae if you get involved with WhatsApp. So I caution you, keep your sanity, keep your hair, and have another way to keep in touch with your tenants, not WhatsApp. What do you think? let me know. Screenshot this episode and share it on Insta, tagging me in. I'd love to know if you agree or disagree. Is it what's up or what's down? I'm saying it's what's down. Okay, that's it for this week. Have a great rest of the week. And remember, believe bigger, be bolder, be a game changer. See you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like the links for anything mentioned in today's episode, or if voice is not enough and you want to see us on video too, you can find all the show notes and lots more at renttorentsuccess.com. That's rent number 2, rentsuccess.com. If you've enjoyed today's episode, we'd super appreciate it if you would take a few minutes to review it in your podcast app. Remember, we'll be donating to our B1G1 charities too for each review you give. Until then, believe bigger, be bolder, be a game changer.